Let's go. Everybody, welcome to another edition of Moonhawk Studios Presents. I am your host, Mac. With me, as always, although possibly experiencing technical difficulties, is my good friend Adam.
You're the one who's doing the technical difficulties from my end.
I have a perfectly functioning 5G phone. I'm doing just fine.
Anyway,
Kevin's here.
Yep, hanging over here.
Petty fan on the heavy-duty technicals.
When does tech get access to the open bar?
Right after Code allows it. And the Golix is here.
I am indeed here.
All right, we have a great show for you tonight, but before we get to the meat of the matter, let's start with the news. Adam, what's cooking?
let's see. Well, it's not a topic that's easy to talk about, but my mother's been complaining about chest pains recently.
Oh.
Yeah, and is going to see the doctor next month. So, well, on the one hand, she's, fairly advanced in her age. She's also been relatively healthy, so hoping that's just a minor hiccup rather than something that might be chronic or fatal. So, yeah. Like I said, not the easiest thing to talk about. Outside of that, been pretty quiet this week. So,
all right.
Then you're up.
Yeah, I'm up here. Well, nothing really much going on here. About to be a very busy weekend and week ahead. I'm gonna be doing some special things for Valentine's Day, let's say, and then as soon as that's over with, I'm gonna be dealing with the one and only Captain America. So it's gonna be fun.
And now dealing with extra horrible people because of subject matter.
Well, not necessarily. It's more people just leaving stuff around. So, but it's also going to be pretty busy because I'm going to be pretty much doing every single part of the building, if you will. So that's going to be fun. But other than that, not really much else going on. So, Penny, what's happening in your world this week?
I had to take Luna to the vet because she was having a problem with her third eyelid. They gave us some ointment to put in there, and she is not a fan. We have to do it twice a day, so she's at the point where if we're going to pick her up, she wants to try and run and hide, which, understandable. When I had my eye problems, I did not like putting that ointment in either. So basically, both me and my sister, I have to hold Luna, to my chest, and my sister has to try and administer the ointment. So yeah, it's a two-person operation because Luna likes to try and fight.
Hold on, kitty, while we lube up your eye.
I mean, you laugh, but that's basically what we have to do because her third eyelid is stuck up.
Ugh.
So they gave us a combo antibiotic ointment to help lube it up and make sure there isn't an infection in there. So, and because that was thinking she's a little light sensitive, which understandable. When I was using that ointment, I was also very light sensitive. So it's also been making sure we have an enclosed bed for her to sleep in during the day so she can, have a nice darker place to rest her eye and stuff like that, and also keeping her from trying to hide underneath the oven because I'm not exactly built to move an oven. So that's been fun. We're starting to get snow again, which sucks, but luckily it's only supposed to cap out at maybe 6 inches. So that's at least better than the last snowstorm we got, which was 16. We still need to figure out what we're going to do about, getting the like walkways and stuff clear, because the snow is kind of light and powdery. We may just be able to. Sister goes in front of me with a broom, and I follow behind with the leaf blower we have, which probably might be the play. Because, work smarter, not harder. And Friday, I am going to my regular doctor to get my knee looked at, post-accident, because I'm still having problems walking around on it. And this was the knee I had that massive surgery on, like 2019. The one that my doctor said I would have been better off shattering my kneecap. So that's going to be a fun time. I'm probably going to get a referral to ortho out of this, so not looking forward to dealing with him again. And then I think that's it from me. I can't think of anything else fit to print. So, Gulix.
Not too much going on here. We're looking at the second week straight of snow, Wednesday into Thursday, and then probably again Saturday into Sunday. So that's lovely. And this time there's probably supposed to not be as much. I think even the heaviest forecast isn't for as much, but it's going to be wetter. So that's going to be a pain. Luckily, we're working from home tomorrow, and I might just take the day off anyway if I'm too tired after whatever clearing needs to be done. Yeah, I don't know. There was some interesting announcements in video gaming today that I'm looking forward to, but I will leave that mostly to other people. We talked about it some on Fragment. So already, and we don't actually know that much yet. But
Yeah, I've been watching Adam yell about it on Blue Sky. Oh.
Yeah, there's that. Video game wise, I picked up Dead Cells a bit ago, and I've been playing through that again. I'm using the one of assist mode that lets you continue after dying, but only after reading that you could already just do that by quitting the game when you die. It starts you back at the beginning of the biome, so. So yeah, that's. And that makes it a lot easier to learn and practice. I don't know, maybe I'll actually try some of the higher boss cell levels at some point. By which I mean try one and see if I can get any of the higher ones. And I've been having decent luck so far, although unfortunately, since I played mostly before several of the updates, there's a lot of new content, and unfortunately I unlocked some on this run that don't play super well together, by which I mean I'm stuck with a trident that gets most of its bang for doing a long charging attack, going into a stage that is a sort of boss gauntlet against that is mostly a vertical climb with characters harrying you from various angles, where that's not a good weapon for this stage. So we'll see how this goes. And that's I'll probably be playing that some a little bit while we're on air, frankly. That's because I want to start before it gets too late because my reflexes get worse. And that's pretty much what I got, I guess.
All right. Well, as happened last week, I'm broadcasting from a different parking lot. Not really out of necessity, but simply because it worked so well last time. But yeah, the main power is still off at the house, and although I have deployed part of my solar get off the grid plan. It is a bit of a process, and it does require money that I don't have due to other bills. So I'm getting there. It's just, honestly, I haven't even started paying off the electric bill yet. My luck, they'll send me to collections or something. I got to make sure that I turn all the breakers off. So that way, if for some reason they revert it back to the complex, I will not use any of the power, because they can try to charge me at 4 times the rates.
Fine.
Or just evict me.
Yeah.
So I do need to do something soon.
Right.
I've downloaded plans for a silencing box because I am going to get at least one gas-powered generator as a more cost-effective solution to part of my problem. The solar stuff is kind of pricey, even buying kits off of Temu, and having amazing sales on Amazon, which I guess I'm supposed to be boycotting right now. Well, fuck 'em, I can't beat these.
Sitting over there debating if he really needs 2 kidneys.
Well, I'm really in the mode of I can fuck over the power company by indulging briefly in Amazon and then not doing it again. Or at least not anytime soon. Although, to be honest with you, Amazon is far less egregious. I mean, I don't know, capitulators, collaborators, they're both C words as far as I'm concerned, but
The thing is, Bezos isn't actually CEO of Amazon. Hasn't been for a while.
I know, but he's still chairman of the board, and he still owns enough stock to influence the behaviors of that, and he does own the Washington Post, and
I know. I'm just saying, like, people are still acting like he's still directly in charge of everything, like it was 20 years ago.
I think that's why. I think that's why people really haven't gravitated away from Amazon, because Amazon itself, their big problems right now are the whole union busting thing. That's been ongoing. That's not new.
Right.
So if I had any reason to boycott them, it would be that, because I am part of a union family.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll also note that these people are not calling for a boycott of Apple. Like,
right.
Even though Tim Cook was at the inauguration and paid $1 million as well. Like,
but his motivation for doing so is not entirely clear. Apple is a murky. It's a kettle of fish.
My point is, like, these boycotters speak up until it's kind of their skin in the game, as in, guess who their favorite company is? The one that makes their iPhones, and it's their iPhone, not Android devices, iPhone, and iPads, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the greatest technology, but they are pretty sturdy for the most part. They're sturdy and mostly stable, and they're compatible.
That is not the point.
No, I know that's not the point. I'm just saying that's why people like them. It's weird because they're not necessarily that great.
Well, that's one reason. It's also because Apple is 9/10 image.
Right.
Seriously.
The whole Bubbles fiasco for the messaging app, yeah.
Well, and then now the narrative now is that the people have been pushing is that normal people use Apple products, psychopaths use Android, and I'm like, right.
No, that's not even normal people use Android because it's a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need to take out a second mortgage to buy their overpriced products.
Well, I don't know.
Hope for a special deal.
You know, the S23 is $1,000 phone, guys. So I don't know if you're fully accurate. I mean, if you want an actually good Android product, you're going to spend at least $700. So,
I'm
not
aware
so sure about that affordable thing.
like my phone works and it was like $200. Like, I'm not talking about, getting the latest end all be all. I'm I'm talking about getting a phone. Like, you just
Yeah, yeah, but who the fuck uses the phone, Adam? We're literally downloading apps right now to talk to each other on a podcast.
like that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
nobody buys a smartphone to make phone calls.
they also don't buy smartphones for high-end gaming, but it's not stopping Apple from pushing that for whatever quixotic reason.
Speak for yourself. I'm over here with my waifu collectors and playing Call of Duty Mobile. Thank you very much.
No. I'm talking about
Mac,
real.
that's not high-end gaming.
Yeah, I'm talking about real big boy games like
People are wanting
Assassin's
to play
Creed
Bioshock on their phone.
like Bioshock. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage and Grid Legends and Resident Evil 4 the remake.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, those are on iPhones.
I know. I have a backbone. and my iPhone XR barely handles it.
Not surprising. Because here's the thing. Here's one of the dirty secrets about the iPhone. No matter how powerful it is, it doesn't have a dedicated GPU, so it doesn't handle heat all that well.
No.
Yeah. But I like scrambling eggs on the back of my phone.
Or maybe grilling steak.
Yeah. Anyway,
all I know is I've twice now dropped my iPhone in the bathtub, and the only thing that happened was the speaker stopped working for an hour.
Probably because you left it to dry. That works.
No, I just kept right on using it.
Well,
dropped it in the water. The lock screen was right there. Just shook it out a little bit. It was fine.
Yeah. Well, as long as it still works.
Can't say that that's ever worked out with any Android phone I've ever dropped into the bathtub.
No.
I mean,
so anyway,
certain build quality there. I'll grant you that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the speaker port is pretty much the speaker port and the charge port are pretty much the only ways for moisture to get inside the phone.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's also not like the old days where we had phones where we could actually pull the battery out. Like my S23 here, it's sealed. It would probably survive if I got it out of the water fast enough, just like my iPhones have. So, like I said, I am of a hybrid mind here, and that's the way you guys have known me for long enough to know that I've been hybrid technology for a long time. I've embraced Windows, Linux, Mac OS. I fucked around with Amiga OS for a while.
Oh God.
Tried to build an Amiga spec computer about 15, 20 years ago. The only thing I haven't done is get like a Google Fi phone or something awful like that. I think that's the only thing where I would probably cast some side eye at people if they had that, unless you're doing it for bargain purposes, in which case that's perfectly fine. But Google has its own problems. But yeah, so that's basically it. Is right now I'm just kind of working the work. Monday we were able to do a full session of City of Heroes before my generator died. Yeah, lasted for the entire 3-hour show.
Hmm.
I have lights. I have a mini fridge. I'm doing all right, all things considered. I'd like to get back to full functionality because I do have plans, but
Yeah.
maybe building some buffer would be prudent. In the meantime, not getting any younger here, so
Yeah.
And I can't camp in my apartment forever. I think there's laws in Arizona against that. So, yeah, purely temporary, but we're getting there.
That was kind of why I was curious why you were putting so much investment into a solar hookup that's going to be even harder to move the second time.
Going to be even harder to move the second time.
Like, it might be a pain. I don't know how much of an easy or a pain it is to set up once, but taking it down and moving it is going to be harder.
It took me about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, there was a little sweat involved, but it was 85 degrees that day, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it took me longer to unbox it because of the Byzantine methodology that they use to wrap the cardboard around. I swear to God, every one of these electronics manufacturers is obsessed with tape. Tape and a million twisty ties. So I'd say of all the things that I had to deal with, pulling it out of the unboxing it took me twice as long as setting it up. But I mean, everything is on these do-it-yourself kits. Everything is pretty straightforward. You almost don't need instructions because you can't plug anything in wrong. They all have unique configurations on the plug that only go in one way. Everything has not only letters and numbers but it also has pictographs on it. So I mean, it's also pretty hard to mistake in and out. So unless you're completely functionally illiterate, which I'm not putting past folks, I don't know. Maybe I'll do I got a little creative and I used I created a solar stand out of a pallet and desk parts. That took a little bit of time, but again, it was just a few minutes of putting screws in and using zip ties to cinch it all together. So. And, if I needed to dismantle it in a hurry and hide it in the storage closet, it wouldn't take very long to do either. So.
Anyway.
So that's it for that. Let's get to the main event here. Our guest tonight is Jeffery Green Ranger Zoo of the Duel Assessment Podcast. Jeffery, welcome to the podcast.
Happy to be here, talking to you guys. Yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the Duel Assessment Podcast. What do you do? What do you talk about?
So I think this was back in. So forgive me, I have a terrible memory. I think in 2017, me and this guy, Deck Tech, who actually is a Blizzard employee now. He actually achieved his dream of working for Blizzard and doing Hearthstone. Actually, that's where we met. We were part of this Hearthstone, which was like a digital card game, the first digital card game that Blizzard made, and we were fans of that game. And there were other folks doing podcasts of Hearthstone, like 3 or 4 of them at least, that we were in the community with. And this Yu-Gi-Oh game came out like middle of 2017, I want to say, and we were like, "Oh, there's no podcast for this game. Let's just do it." And we did it, and we formed this Duel Assessment Podcast shortly after the game came out. So like probably at this point it's probably like late 2017, and we were just updating people about the game. There was no, I don't think the main website that's out for news was out back then, so we were just informing people about the game, any updates, and also when cards got released, we would pretty much rate the cards. I was kind of the guy who did the podcast. I was kind of the worker, while Deck Tech was the guy who was the brains, like the knowledge. So that was our partnership, and we did the podcast. And he left after 2 years, I believe, and I've pretty much continued the podcast to this day.
Hmm. All right. That's a good setup. So now I'm gonna hand you over to the crew here. Golix and Petty Fan are resident CCG players, and whoever wants to start first, and Adam, if you have anything, just jump right in.
All right. I suppose I'll guide things a bit here and ask, were you ever expecting your podcast to last this long? Because, it got started what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, more than that. 8, 7.5.
8. Yeah, which is a long time, especially to be covering a very specific subject matter, because you're not just doing Yu-Gi-Oh! You're doing the games Duel Links and Master Duel.
Yeah, those are my main focuses. It's primarily Duel Links. Sometimes they have weeks off, so I'll switch over to Master Duel. Like I honestly say I learned the game through this app, which is kind of funny. Like I think I played so Yu-Gi-Oh came out when I was in the 7th grade, and I played it in the 8th grade, and then by the time I got to high school, no one played it. So that was the end for me with the physical card game. And then, years gone by, college has gone by, and then the mobile version of Duel Links comes out, and that's where I really start learning the archetypes. So really, I had very little knowledge of the game with the physical cards, and having learned it through this digital card game, which is dumbed down, like to some who know, Duel Links is a dumbed down version of the game, compared to Master Duels, where they only have three slots instead of 5 slots. So, and they have half as many life points. So it's a very dumbed down version, and that's how I learned the game. I'm not ashamed to say it. My knowledge is kind of lacking. I learn archetypes as I go. When I got to Master Duel, I kind of got a deeper appreciation of the game with the complexities, and it's a freaking complex game. Like I can't explain how complex Yu-Gi-Oh is, but I learned that through Master Duel. So yeah, those two games they pump out content all the time, so there's enough to talk about all the time.
Right. Anyway, so it sounds like we're getting into the details of the actual game. So, Teddy, that's your department.
So do you have any card shops that you go to play the physical game at all anymore, or is it still just strictly the digital Duel Links version?
Yeah, I was never a huge card collector for the reasons I mentioned. My sister did buy me stuff for Christmas. There was this 25th anniversary card set, and I got some really cool cards actually. So those are probably the rarest cards I've gotten.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of like with me. I don't have anywhere to play anymore. I kind of got priced out of the physical hobby. So if I want to play, I have to play it online now.
Yeah, it was a freaking expensive game from what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I started, I actually couldn't really buy the structure decks, and I just bought a couple booster packs. Like that's how I actually I wasn't competitive at all. I was just buying booster packs.
Yeah, I think a lot of us our start was not really as much booster packs, but the leftovers our friends had from their buying of product, and oh look, I got 60 cards, I can go make a deck.
Yeah. I definitely got some I had some friends in the 8th grade who gave me cards, and we had some lunchtime tag duels and stuff like that. That was my experience, and that was a very minimal part of the game where all they had were like the fusion monsters and that had no effects and stuff like that. So um, the game has evolved like to a significant degree
Oh
with all the
God, yes.
different types of extra deck things and quick interactions. I don't know how people even play the physical game. Honestly, it's like you're gonna have to be like ringing a bell to be like, oh, I want to trigger this effect on chain 5 on this effect. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, having stuff be automated definitely would help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, believe me, I had a lot of times where people would just kind of bully me out of a portion where I could chain, and it's like, yeah, no, hold on.
Yeah, you need like a referee, like a real
We actually
unbiased referee.
at card shops, people are judges. They can be like, hey, yeah, wait a minute, let him do his turn.
Yeah, so they didn't violate the speed rule. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So where to start with this? Well, because there's a lot of stuff going on with Duel Links, especially
Right.
before it was just the dumbed down. I think it was just before Speed Duel started, because I know this is started well before Rush Duel.
Rush, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
Rush came out like 2 years ago, right? Something like that.
it's a little early. It started in the West like 2 years ago, but it's been in Japan, I think, like 3 or 4.
And that's the version that requires actual like different cards, like
Yes,
anyway.
it uses totally non standard Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, it's a whole different set. I mean, sometimes they reuse a monster that's in both games,
Mm-hmm.
in both modes, but it's like
Mhm.
you got 2 worlds of Rush duels, and then there's these separate characters, and it's just like bringing back a nostalgic feel
Mm-hmm.
of the game it used to be. And previously, around September, October, they released a new world, and they were doing like a new world with a new extra deck type. So, like, let's say Zexal was the black cards, the XZ's cards, and then
Mhm.
Arc 5 was Pendulum cards, and then Vrains was the Link monsters.
Because that's what they
And
come from. Yeah.
yeah, and then they ran out, so then they went to Rush after that the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
just a little
sure.
bit harder to, at least in real life, I guess. They could convert the cards if they want for a digital thing.
Yeah. I think Duel Links still doesn't have a crafting system, which is something that we've harped on for a long time. You can't really craft the card you want out of a box, if that makes any sense. And I have like,
Well, yeah. Then you wouldn't have to buy as many boosters.
Yeah.
yeah. They have the box chips now for like the old sets, but those are sets from at least 4 years ago.
So good on the very rare occasion that something from there gets new support that really makes
there's
it
like, yeah.
useful.
Yeah, like they're gonna have some like event where you have to play cards from back in the day and you have to use your box chips. But honestly, like I just have too many box chips and they're gonna expire, so I have to spend them on some card I never had 3 copies of 6 years ago or whatever, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess going into like the podcast side of this, are you always just like building your own decks? Do you take viewer submissions?
Yeah. I think back in the day I was more ambitious, especially when I was working with Deck Tech. Like we had a Patreon and all, and he was definitely the deck builder of the group, and I just didn't have that knowledge, but I did, hit the king of games with decks I played and stuff like that. So I wasn't like completely like lost, but it wasn't really in me to build decks. Now, I kind of get some ideas of people online and stuff like that, net decking or whatever. I see a cool deck that's I never really want to play the meta deck. That's me. Like I don't never want to play the deck that's the most popular. I try to find some deck that I like and has seen success, and I try to emulate that. So I try to buy
Right.
cards towards those, rogue decks, if you will, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last few years I've just been cruise control of this podcast. Like I just do it kind of when I want, but I do it like at least 3 times a month, like every week. I try to do that. Try to keep everyone updated, just to keep the podcast alive and just to keep everyone engaged. Because I think all the other Duel Links podcasts have kind of died down. Like there was a time where a bunch of people were making the podcasts, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and now I think it's all died down. So I'm kind of keeping the tradition alive
Yeah.
for the community.
So I guess, have you ever gotten any, like, anybody from Konami or whatever on, or are you just strictly like making decks and talking about them?
No Konami. We got the previous world champ. Like one of the world champs was on the podcast that Deck Tech interviewed. I interviewed a guy, Ruxin34. He does like he's a card collector now, and he does like a lot of he hit it big with YouTube, so he just does like a lot of card opening reveals and stuff like that.
Mm,
We had guys like that on the podcast, but no one from Konami ever reached out for us to us for anything. So we've always took that as a chip on our shoulder. Like Konami is not recognizing us as a spreading the game and stuff like that. But it is what it is.
yeah. It
When I went to
happens.
Japan, I kind of joked about visiting their headquarters, but I couldn't find it. Yeah.
um so like, I know that Duel Links has like the real money component. How much do you say you like put into the game, or are you at the point where you have like so much already in there you're not really putting any new money into it?
Kind of both. So
Mm.
I actually have this thing on my phone, the Google Rewards app, where they ask you to upload receipts, and like every time you pass by a store, they'll say like, "Oh, did you go to the store?" And you get like 10 cents every time, or upload your receipt from Trader Joe's, and here's 25 cents. So
Mm-hmm.
that stuff adds up. I have like $27 in the bank right now to use on games.
I, I
So
I do that with Benjamin.
I mean,
yeah, it's a
that's
great
how
thing.
you do it.
They're already spying on us, so we might as well just like max it out,
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, take their filthy lucre as much as you possibly can. They would do the same for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I spend money on Pokemon Go, but I don't spend any of it on like. I guess I spend a little bit on what is the equivalent to booster packs, which is pretty much egg incubators, but not much.
I do use the credit for Pokemon Go too. But in seriousness, before I accumulated this money from this app, I think I did spend money in the past on Duel Links, but now at a point where it's not really a necessity. Though I did blow through all my gems like a couple days ago. Like there's you could keep like 10,000 gems you could keep, and then they keep like a storage box where your gems will expire in a month. And I've pretty much been in a perpetual state where I'm hoarding gems. But I
Waiting for
recently
new
spent
sets
them
and
all.
like basically like those who collect physically. We're
Yeah.
holding on to some money till the new box drops.
Right. And I'm always in a perpetual state of holding a lot of this currency, but I recently spent it all. So I'm gonna build that back up and wait for the next set, which I probably can't afford, but it's fine. At this point it's fine.
Yeah, trust me, I know the feeling.
Yeah, I have even more currency in Master Duel, honestly.
Yeah,
That one is more expensive.
it really is. Because, like, how much I was just looking at. For a 30-pack thing in Duel Links is $25, and you get 300 credits back. Which, that's not bad. Comes out to less than $1 a pack. So,
I think,
like,
yeah.
and you,
Both games are kind of capitalizing on alternate artwork now.
yeah,
Especially Master Duel. and even the cards themselves, they're releasing alternate artworks. And the cards I got for Christmas, a bunch of them were these alternate artwork cards, and that they're really dipping into that hard now.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, is fair. Like, we haven't had a whole lot of, like, changes, not only in, like, regular Yu-Gi-Oh!, but Duel Links in general since Rush. The game has been kind of in, like, perpetual stasis state.
I think one thing they did is they made like a new type of like illusion monsters or something like that, and then they've retrained old monsters into new ones. Like
Yeah, a lot of it has
long
been
time.
just like updating older monsters, and like that's cool. Like the archetype support's nice for people who like those archetypes. Like the main game just got new Six Samurai support, which that was one of
Oh.
the decks I used to enjoy back in when I played the game.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite decks in Duel Links. Like I hit King of Games with Six Sams, and it just had a long-standing power. It stayed in the game for a very long time. It was very easy to play early in the Synchro era.
Oh yeah, and it was a lot more potent in the physical card game because you had the 5 areas instead of just 3, so it just popped off.
Yeah, and in Duel Links, I think there were like a couple strategies. There was like a level 3 strategy. Well, mostly it was like the main synchro monster. I think there's like a level 7 special summon too or something. I forget. I forget. Like I used to know the names of the cards and now I don't anymore.
Yeah,
My
it's
memory's
this
just
one.
eroded.
The joke of Yu-Gi-Oh players can't read is very real. We
Yeah, I still
work off
refuse to
artwork.
read cards. Yeah, yeah.
The joke is if there's too many artwork or too many alternate arcs, we are all boned.
Also, the card text is just insane.
Oh God,
Do
yes.
they do the thing in Duel Links where like if you get enough whatevers, you can like upgrade the rarity of an existing card?
I think so. You could
Yeah.
make it shiny.
Yeah.
Well, most of the high rarities are just various different implementations of shiny, so
Like they actually add a glossy sheen to the card itself, not like this border that's on this SR that's on the screen right now. Like the actual card has a like shiny filter on it almost.
They literally just added Chronicle cards, which is the thing where you get to decorate it even more. Like you could give it like gold lettering. You could make it have like this other shiny stuff that's besides the prismatic, which what you're talking about. They have this new came out a couple months ago.
Yeah. The stuff that if you tried to do that in actual, physical card, you would be thrown out of whatever tournament you were trying to get into.
Yeah, yeah, but they're just that's definitely a new thing. They're giving out those as rewards, like different color letterings and different stamps you could put on cards.
Right.
The customization is like the big thing now.
Yeah, and there's also a whole bunch of other stuff you can get in the game, like deck slots they have them set to characters? Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me. They literally just released a new thing called alt characters, where they have a character who has a second skin. So now they can
Yeah.
release skins of characters instead of releasing a new character altogether.
Yeah. And I guess we should probably go into the characters because this is one of the more interesting things about Duel Links. The characters have special abilities?
Yeah,
I think I'd heard of this. That it's where, it's an interesting take. That I mean, Hearthstone has basically the same thing, except for in that case, it fully determines where. Well, in Hearthstone, it fully determines like most of your deck too, because you can only play cards from your class that you're playing as. And I think I think there's at least one other digital card game that has a thing where like the character you choose to play as makes a difference. And I know the current Metabots mobile game does the same thing where you customize your bot, but you can also choose. I forget if it's 1 or 3 because you have 3 bots. Metafighter characters that affect things. So it's it's an interesting idea, certainly, to give you a little bit of a twist to how you work with the kind of deck you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think back then it was better. Like back then, it was more specialized. A certain character would only have. Well, that's not true. There were some skills that many characters would have, and then there was a skill that only one character would have.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have these. They've started power creeping the skills, honestly, to the fact that they have like 3 effects each. So now it's become a skill game, honestly. Like, and I think you could buy the skills from the trader. So you could buy these skills and you could use them with any character now. So now there used to be a skill, not a skill, like a card game skill where you would see the character you're playing against and you'd be like, oh, a Shizu is playing a Sealed Tombs deck,
Mm.
or
Or
Joey's
like
playing a
Joey,
Red
you
Eye
were
deck.
playing a Red Eyes or Warrior deck.
Yeah, like a coin flip, like a dice, like a
Yeah.
chance deck. Now it doesn't matter anymore. You could play any character and just have like an OP skill with you. So now that
Mm-hmm.
that has been lost. But Duel Links has always played with a skill, whereas Master Duel is just clean dueling.
Yeah. The Master Duel is the master rules, as we like to call it, for the regular card game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same as the physical TCG, but there
I know
It
the ban
is.
list. I know the ban list is different.
Yeah, the actual product of play is the same as the regular game. They just have a different ban list because not all the cards are implemented yet.
Yeah, and also Duel Links has like a half burn rule where cards that burn you for half, so that
Right.
because burn used to be a big
Oh
deck
yeah,
to play against.
I remember that there were a lot of just burn OTKs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but those decks aren't competitive anymore, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why they were is because of the lower life point count.
Plus, Yu-Gi-Oh! Generally wants it to be a monsters game. They have, for a while, been thematically against people winning games mostly by shooting spells at each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Hearthstone guy, right? So
I don't. Okay. So my history with trading card games is a bit weird. I played a little bit of Pokemon when I was a kid. I played Magic the Gathering like 3 times, got mana burned 2 or got mana screwed 2 of those and didn't like it. So when I heard about the Force of Will TCG, which is made by Magic fans who wanted to do things some differently in Japan style, I played that for a while, but then I fell off that at the pandemic, and now I play the Digimon TCG. Although not very often, because the time when the local game store plays it is not frequent.
Mm.
And not convenient for me.
No, it's funny that I'm talking about burn decks when back then in Hearthstone I'd play this like Malyghost Rogue deck, which was like, oh, your spells get like a +4 damage or whatever, and I would just like hit them with all these spells and and like boost my rogue up to like some high power to hit face and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm. So like, do you have like, I guess, certain characters you prefer, or do you have like deck set up for like each character somebody would want to play? Since like most characters have like, they don't really have their specialized skills anymore.
right. There are archetypes I like playing more than others, if that
Mhm.
if that answers your question. And some of it is from Master Duels. Like like I've always liked the gimmick puppets. I play that one. In Master Duels, they have a really advanced version of gimmick puppets. I recently picked up the Battling Boxers. Live Twin Unchained is a deck I play, and throughout the history of the game, I've played different decks. And gotten king of games with different decks. But they were never really the most popular decks. That's one thing I've kept consistent, where I never wanted to be predictable. Part of it is just not being able to afford the predictable deck, but
Right.
I've always wanted to win in a different way.
Yeah, that's definitely been a thing with a lot of people. You could just throw down all the money and play, the quote unquote best deck, but what fun is that?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of it is the fun interactions you have. Despite losing, winning an unbeatable fight against these people and just having the memory
Yeah.
of that match. Yeah.
Like, I remember there was a dude at my locals who would play an Exodia deck.
Oh yeah.
So it was one of his, I could get lucky. I could pull out the instant win. Or I could get roasted horribly.
I mean, as long as no one throws your cards into an ocean and you have no chance.
Luckily,
I would make a joke about if you're not drawing your whole deck to make sure you get the Exodia, you're not really trying. But I'm pretty sure
that's basically what you do.
I'm pretty sure they've banned the things that made that possible.
They have not. There are
okay.
More
They've banned some of it.
Yeah. Well, like the big thing with Exodia now is everything is now one of. So you have to pull five separate cards that you only have one of each. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
I think Exodia got they keep retraining it, and now in Master Duels, there's just an event where it's there's this unstoppable fusion monster. That's this Exodia guy, and he gains as much attack as life points as you have, and he can't be countered.
Fun.
So it's like an attacking deck now. It's strange.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's one of the free decks they let you play with, so they want you to buy the card set that it's in. So they let you play this deck for free, and it's just an attacking deck.
Mm.
In a way, it kind of lost its essence of being a card advantage deck. But
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
So I guess for those people at home, what are all the ways that this is different than paper Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, first off, it doesn't have a 1,000-year door. No.
So yeah, the speed duel rules, it's 3 slots instead of 5 slots. There's a still a time limit, I guess. There's the dual skills we mentioned, that each character has a unique skill. Half as much life points, so 4,000 life points. Not sure what else.
There is no main phase 2 is one of the big ones.
I forgot about that. So
yeah,
that's huge, because
I guess that's kind of where I come in on this, because in Yu-Gi-Oh, typical flow is standby, draw, main phase 1, battle, main phase 2, end step. Main phase 2 is where you can regroup if your opponent manages to pull out a spell or trap that screws up your game plan.
Also, the best point to play your own traps, because
they can't be outed by your opponent.
Yeah, now you're kind
of that. Yeah.
Now you're setting your back row before the battle phase, when they can pop them at the end. You can't set up like a disruptor or a floodgate or something like that in your main phase 2. Any card that mentions main phase 2 is probably not in the game. There's a number of cards that are not in Duel Links straight up. They're just not there because they're overpowered or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's like the no main phase 2 is probably the biggest, besides the only 3 slots.
Yeah.
Because it definitely fundamentally changes how you'd go about strategizing.
Yeah, the extra deck is smaller too.
Yeah, well, the whole deck size is smaller.
Deck size half as much, pretty much.
Main deck in Yu-Gi-Oh is 60
40.
to 80. Oh, it's 40 now?
40. Yeah, and that's 20 in Duel Links.
Yeah.
I guess most digital card games have smaller decks.
No, well, Duel Links or not Duel Links, Master Duel is just standard Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just straight up standard Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
And those matches can take forever.
Oh God, yes. especially if they have a loop going. And then I guess there's a lot of stuff going on here because, like, there's the PvP mode that you can do. There's you just kind of duel NPCs.
Right.
Is there like something more you focus on? Like, are you particularly setting up your decks for NPC tomfoolery, or are you a PvP kind of guy?
So like sometimes they have like a weekly quest where the tour guide's asking you like, oh, you have to fight three NPCs. So you fight those guys, and you fight those guys to earn currency also for the events. So like
Mm.
you fight them, you earn currency for the events, and then you do the events. PvP. Right now they have the Kaiba Cup going on, so as long as you play 4 real people every day, you get your max rewards for
Mhm.
the day at least. And there's different rewards. So right now I'm building a battling boxer deck, and they have a card from a ticket that you need to play 50 wins with to get that ticket. And this card is literally locked behind that ticket with 50
It's
wins.
for those of us who play paper TCGs, it's like a promo that you can only get going to an event and placing well.
Yeah, they literally have this one card that's locked behind that ticket. So I have to do these real people duels to get that card. So it's a combination of both.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
And it's all about the motivation to give you to fight to play against real people. And it's like if
Yeah,
the rewards are good enough, yeah.
and that's like basically with any card game. Like, I play Digimon for like my physical card game, and lately they've been having very good promos as they're entice you to come play the physical card game because we do not have a digital client at this time. So they got to find ways to make you want to go to your local card shop and play. And right now it's giving you decent promos that will be useful in upcoming decks.
Yeah, it's all about building a community. That's
Mhm.
where a card game goes.
Card games live and die on their communities looking at you and pouring one out for battle spirits.
Yeah. Duel Links has luckily had a good community. There's this guy DK'd who built Duel Links meta. There's Grand Harrier who is a big supporter of mine. There's these guys who are just committed to Duel Links and they haven't left. So I'm grateful for them staying in the community.
Oh, this is the tutorial for the maximum summon thing that's like the big thing with the rush duels.
Oh, uh, I don't remember. Sort of. There was like a thing where there's like a cartoon kind of.
Yeah,
Uh,
the rush
yeah.
duels is like the new like cartoon anime thing that has like it even had this is kind of like what Duel Links. I'm trying to see if I get the order right. Rush Duels was based off of Duel Links, is how I remember it.
Yeah, I think so. And it's kind of like the Gen Z version because it's
Mm.
like they don't talk about people getting banished like to the Shadow Realm or whatever. It's
Yeah,
more lighthearted and funny. So it's like
yeah.
a kids show, more of a kids show than we had when we were kids. But whatever.
Okay, the Shadow Realm was an invention of 4 Kids. The
Yeah.
proper Japanese series was much darker.
They just straight
No,
up died.
there was
Yeah,
crazy shit going on in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, part of that is because Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't even meant to be a card game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
it
there was
just
crazy
kinda,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of fell into a uh, um mega franchise.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the original manga was like kind of crazy. Like I've seen some of that stuff.
Hmm.
It's just kind of hilarious how this started. You know, just how all Yu-Gi-Oh started. where the card game was originally an afterthought and then became one of the top 3 card games on the planet.
I wouldn't say it was ever an afterthought. It was one of many game challenges, but it's definitely the one that really seized the imagination of the people who decided they could merchandise it.
Fair enough.
Well, it's not just that. It's because the original gimmick of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was to have a new game every issue or something like that. And then once they stumbled upon the card game, they realized they could do that premise, but just with one game, which was a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Pokemon really paved the way for that one. It came out a little bit before Yu-Gi-Oh! And it definitely succeeded in that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There was the dice game, too. I remember
yeah,
a
the
kid in my
dice
school
game
had...
that failed horribly.
He had those figurines, and I actually still have them, the figurines of the characters he used.
Yeah,
but they actually had to cut...
Go ahead.
They cut that promo into the show with Duke Devlin, and that's the only reason why he's in the show. So
yeah, it's the concept was cool, but it was definitely not something that kid could buy with pocket money, like booster packs would be. You know,
also, it takes up a lot more space.
Yeah, you get your $5 allowance, you can go get a pack of, you know, insert fancy here, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and you can just get a weekly pack to rip. You might get something cool, something to go trade on the playground. You might get nothing. You know, it's just kind of how it goes. It's kind of how we all got started in this crazy mess. So you did mention something called King of Games. What exactly is that? Is that like a ranking thing?
Yeah. So when you play against other people, you increase your ranking on a win streak. So they start at like silver, a bronze, silver, gold, platinum, then King of Games. That's like the maximum ranking. And I think you have to win like 6 or 7 games in a row without getting interrupted at the same time. So there's a bit of luck. You know, it's hard. Like if you look at your game record, you're probably if you're a good player, you're probably like a 59% win rate or something like that. So you do have to hit like a certain luck streak in addition to your own abilities to get the King of Games. And that's the highest ranking you can get in Duel Links.
And is there anything like special for getting King of Games, or is it just bragging rights on your profile?
They just put like an achievement for you. Yeah,
okay.
That's literally it. Nothing.
Some games you get promos or you get special skins. Be like, yeah, I got King of Games for this circuit. What, you know?
Yeah, they just count it for you. I haven't gotten King of Games in years. At least 3 years, I'd say. 3 or 4 years at this point.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But back then, it was like a proud achievement for sure.
Oh yeah, for a lot of people. Like, I would love to be, you know, sit on, make my way to like the world championships for Digimon at some point, but like, no. Definitely.
It was a dream, man.
Yeah. We all have our card game dreams. Let's be real. You know.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links unfortunately was marred by cheating scandals in a number of their finals.
Oh God, yes. Believe
funny,
me, we had a cheating issue last year with Digimon that, oh boy, that was a thing. And especially some allegations from some other card games that were happening. Like there was a big one in Magic that I believe involved real money being handed to a judge.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I get it. You can get some very expensive cards if you win these, but bro, it's a game.
Unfortunately, people probably aren't like well adjusted to know what's right and what's wrong.
For some of them, yes.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, we've had, back when I was at the local card shop, there are some people who decided they didn't want to shower. And we had jokes about, you know, you could smell when their tournament was starting.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was bad.
rough, yeah.
So I guess how beginner friendly is Duel Links? Like if I just downloaded it on somebody who hasn't played a card game before, how would it be easy enough for them to pick up and play?
So I think, let's say you wanted to play a deck that's popular right now. I think it is because you may not need an investment in a previous purchase. Like some decks, let's say you'll need to buy cards from 2 different sets, and that's a little expensive. But let's say you're playing the hot new deck that just has cards from this purchase, then that's pretty good. They do have these structure decks that include old cards from the same archetype in the same box, so you don't have to rebuy it. It's gotten better, and you don't need like those old good cards anymore because those have been phased out. So I think if you know what you're doing and you're going into the game, you'll have a good time. But let's say like it falls out of the meta and you start losing again, then it's a little tougher. But when you're first starting out in those opening ranks, everyone like those guys don't know what they're doing. Honestly, they're not playing the best decks. They're playing whatever decks, and you'll still win your games, I think.
Fair enough. And then it did mention like looking at the deck editor, there is a auto build deck. Have you ever messed with that? How good is it? Or is it so one of those you're better off building it yourself?
Yeah, so they build the cards off your own collection. So basically it depends on how much you have in your own collection. And they try to cater it to an archetype. So let's say you pick a certain card from an archetype, they try to build to the best of their abilities. Now this is fine for playing against those computer duelists where you're just grinding them out for materials and resources. That's totally fine. But if you're playing against like a real person, then I wouldn't really advise against it. I might start there if you have no idea what you're doing and you'll be like, oh, I
Yeah,
need one
learn
of
the
this card.
controls and stuff like that, or figure out what what you're missing and whatnot.
Right, like they're just plug in cards from that archetype, and they may not be the best cards, but that's all you've got, and it's just the best. It's gotten a lot better. I'll say that the auto build is a lot better than it was when it was first implemented.
Because I think I remember messing around with it. Like last time I picked up this game was like 2022. So it was definitely one of those like, how does this thing work?
Yeah. It's okay now. I'd say I put it that way.
Yeah, because I remember it was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
And then there are also other, like they have the bingo missions, which are to like help you like get more rewards and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I said. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, that's the thing I said about like you had to complete X many quests, like fighting the standard duelist like 3 times or whatever to get the rewards or whatever. Yeah.
Is there anything like duel puzzles? Like I remember from like the DS games where they gave you scenario and you basically had to fight your way out of it.
I don't think so. There are like occasional events where they kind of put you in a dungeon type situation, but those have been it's become more generic. I'd say the events that they pump out every week have become more generic and less creative.
Yeah, because I do remember enjoying like some of those like duel puzzles where if you don't make a certain move, you're going to lose type situations. Well, like there are some of them where you can. There's a card that's like special summon a monster to be able to use your tribute for a big monster to win the game, something like that.
They have those in Master Duel.
Yeah,
like a solo play mode for every archetype, but Duel Links doesn't have that.
Fair enough. And do you prefer to play this on your phone? Because I'm playing on the Steam version right now. Do you have a personal preference?
Steam for sure. So I live in New York City, and whenever I'm playing games on my phone, I'm usually on the train, and in between stops, we don't have service.
Ah,
So I don't prefer playing on the phone.
fair enough. Because I
Yeah.
imagine like there are a lot of people who would be like, "Oh, I have 5-minute break at work. Let me go chew through a couple of these NPCs, and then I can worry about getting on the big duel stuff when I get home."
Yeah, it's the Steam version has always been the best for me. I think for
Mhm.
Pokemon's a different story, but for Duel Links for sure. When I need to focus, definitely Steam.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as far as like your podcast, what's your typical like workflow for that? Like, do you want to have your decks and stuff set up a certain time?
Yeah, so I'm a one-person show at this point, so I do everything by myself. I've always been the guy who recorded the podcast, and I ran the website, so that was always natural to me. And I always did the podcast for free. That was something I always did, so I figured that out. and uh, um, like I just report on news mostly. Like I report on first, I talk about what I did for the week. I talk about the other games I've played. I'm actually a Stalker 2 player. If you guys played Stalker,
I have
I'm a
heard
Stalker
of it.
player.
I have not had a chance to actually play it.
Okay. If you like shooters, horror shooters, where you're low on ammo and you're kind of like, oh, I need to pull out my sidearm, or I'm getting hungry. I need to fight off my radiation.
Hmm.
Stalker 2 is the game to play. But besides that, I talk about esports for my podcast, so I do look at the tournament scene that's going on. I see what's the current meta for Duel Links, and I talk about some of the winning decks. Um, when there's a new event, they release new cards every week, pretty much in Duel Links. So I talk about the cards. I pretty much review them. When there's a new box release, I talk about every single rare card that comes out of the boxes. So I try to from a card game standpoint, I try to see if they're good cards. If a card's too situational, I don't like it. That's kind of how I judge things. And if a card gives you card advantage, then it's a good card. So
Hmm.
basic, basic card game stuff. And then I just talk. I'm basically a reporter at this point of the of Duel Links. I used to have more content with guys who gave me ideas for deck building and things like that. Occasionally, I will veer into that, but that was never my own specialty. I was always the guy who just ran the podcast, so that's basically my take. Like I'm a dumb player of the game who's still a fan, if that makes any sense.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm starting to run out of questions. Gulix, do you have any more?
Not really. I think you've covered most of it. I'm not exactly the most,
Fair
aware
enough.
of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm probably the one who's played it the most here. And granted, that's been a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Do the rest of you guys have any questions, or?
I suppose
I'm good.
I have a few.
All right.
Yeah, you guys might have more about podcast running.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, how often does your they're in?
You might
I
want to try
lost
that
you for
one. Yeah, you lost us a little bit, Adam. You want to try that again?
Okay. How often do you record your podcast?
Okay. I try to do it every week on the weekend, but usually I take a week off every month. So like 3 times a month mostly.
And
Are your recordings live, or do you pre-record it and like post it to YouTube, or insert podcast community view?
Yes. There's a whole system for me to do it for free. Like I record on Audacity first off. That's my recording medium. I have like a noise gate that I have on my computer. I upload it to Internet Archive, which is a great resource. Um and then I have like a link from Internet Archive I upload into WordPress, which is WordPress is like my I have like all the archived episodes are on WordPress. So then that gets uploaded into a feed burner. A feed burner has like a link to the WordPress. So and then it goes out into all of my channels.
Wow.
It's a whole fucking process to make it free. Like that's just
I'm over
what I
here
found out.
just pumping the show out to Twitch right now for us and thinking that's hard. I'm like, Jesus, bro.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's become robotic since 2017 for me, since I was the one who's doing it. So
That's totally fair.
Well, also
imagine back in 2011 when I'm sitting here with a phone broadcasting the crew simultaneously to TalkShoe and live stream.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to have to dial into Skype.
Oh jeez. I think I did. I think we did that when we started this actually. Yeah, when I did it with Deck Tech, we were on Skype, and I don't think about it.
yeah, Discord helps.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's got its quirks.
Mhm.
Anyway, and how often does it take you to make an episode of your program?
At this point, it's like less than an hour, so probably like a 40-minute podcast, more or less. I probably there's some if I'm reviewing cards. Well, I write show notes for every episode, honestly. So I try to see what's first off if it's worth doing an episode that week. If there's no card update or something, I probably won't record an episode. And then like I do some prep work. I write some show notes on Google, and then I do my recording. Takes like 40 minutes, more or less. Sometimes it goes more or less. Sometimes it goes to an hour now, and then I pretty much process it for like 30 minutes or so, put it up online, and then that's it.
Hmm.
The audio stuff is pretty straightforward. Like I normalized the voice. I have like my intro and outro. Pretty straightforward, I think.
All right. And how closely do you keep track of the meta for Duel Links and Master Links?
Duel Links a lot more. I try to look at the tournament scene every week to see what decks are winning the tournaments. Duel Links meta, the website has a good gauge of that. So basically, I'm just going off the website to see what decks people are playing. Usually when they release a ban list that hits like the popular decks, that kind of means the end for some of them. Master Duels is much more complicated, and I'm a lot less competitive there. So I'm not playing the best deck in Master Duels for sure, but I am keeping track of Duel Links for sure.
Now, I suppose another question I have is your content always Duel Links and Master Links, or have you branched off into any other aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh, so to speak? Not just like the card game, but like the upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh, the early years. Any interest from you to covering?
That's a good point, honestly. Like I have not. They are releasing that card series, that whole game series as you mentioned. There is a huge they made an anime series off of a card archetype actually, the Sky Striker archetype.
Yeah, and they're
And
like working on making more of those.
right, they released the whole promo. They actually have their own like film studio now. I think Konami has like a Yu-Gi-Oh film studio, so that's a whole big thing. I have not done that, but that's interesting idea.
Oh no.
For sure.
Oh, that's its own rabbit hole.
Those are
I
worrying
don't think-
words.
Like,
I don't think I'm in the mindset to talk to that audience as well as other people should. So maybe someone else should do that podcast. I don't know.
I mean, there's a couple of people here who could feel that.
Possibly.
The problem with these
Well,
characters is that they put them too young. It doesn't make any sense. Like any character is like, oh, they're 13. It's like insane. It's like, or like even
Hmm.
any
This is
character
actually-
like Kaiba is like, I don't know how old Kaiba is. He's like a full grown man, and he's like, oh, he's like 13 years old. It's like they always underscore like the age of the characters, no matter
I think
what.
most of them in
Hmm.
Yu-Gi-Oh are high school age, but usually on like the lower end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. uh, anyway, so I suppose my final question is, what have you been talking about on?
You fell out, Adam.
Yeah, I lost you.
Oh, I think he's fully out. Oh, there he is.
Okay. You've been talking about recently on your show.
What have I been talking
Hello?
recently about on my show?
Yeah, I think that's what
Weird.
he's been trying to ask.
Disconnect and reconnect, Adam.
She's being wonky.
Live
Oh, Lord. What a
broadcasting.
time. Well,
Hello.
we're live, pal.
Yep. You're here?
Oh. Hello?
Yep.
Hello.
Hi,
Yay.
Adam.
Now you're here. Try again.
Okay.
Discord losing the plot.
All right. Yeah. As I was saying, what have you been talking about recently on your show? And is there anything that you can share with us that's, for the future episodes?
Like I said, I've been in cruise control of this podcast the last few years, just, not stressing myself too much. Still reporting on the daily happenings of the game, new card releases. I'm still going to talk about them. Any new meta outbreaks, I'm going to talk about that. And you guys gave me a good idea to talk about, to think about, to consider about the new series and things like that. So that's definitely something I'm going to keep in the back of my head for sure.
Fair enough. I think Adam
Adam, are
might
you
be
still
try-
there?
It's the quality laptop strikes again.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Discord was doing things like
Hmm.
It apparently still is.
program.
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to come apart now, folks.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
It's weird. It's Adam who seems to be the only one to be having issues with Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Look at my horse.
Yep.
My horse is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is, I don't know how we're going to land this plane here.
Well, I don't know what the question was, so I can't ask it in his stead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem here.
Why don't we why don't we begin the wind down here? Do you have any appearances or other shows that you're going to be making appearances on that you'd like to plug before we part ways?
I'm just doing the Duel Assessment podcast. I'm not on anything else. This is my first guest spot in like 2 years, so I'm honored.
Oh.
Honestly,
Technical
yeah.
problems aside.
Yeah. So, thanks for being a fan, and I'm gonna keep doing my podcast duties as you guys are. I totally respect what everyone's doing in this community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and as always, we go through in cycles. So if something new develops, and we'll keep an eye on your show, and if something new develops, then we can always have you back to chit chat some more about CCGs.
Yeah, happy to do so. Best of luck for everyone going forward, and stay safe out there and be happy. Try to
Oh
be
no,
happy.
we have another one, Mac. He's close.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for being on the show with us, and we really enjoyed talking with you. I'm sorry I was kind of quiet because I'm not really in the whole CCG scene, but it was very fascinating to hear everything about it. So glad to have you.
Yep. See you again soon. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Bye bye.
All right.
All right.
So,
Well, Adam is off the air.
Our
I should
fearless
just note-
lieutenant is currently fallen in battle.
Oh, then he's back up. Adam, you there?
well, I mean, he's logged into the channel. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah,
So
he's
Kevin,
back. He's back in the room.
Kevin,
I
why
don't know
don't you
where I
do
want
the
to
possible
go.
entertainment if there is anything?
I mean, I usually Adam is the one that steers the ship.
All right, I'm back. What?
And you're back now. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I managed to land the plane with only 2 wheels, but
Yeah.
In a third of a
anyway.
wing, it's fine.
yeah.
Anyway, in terms of entertainment news, obviously we start off with the Super Bowl. Like,
The most watched, well, it managed to be the most watched, despite the fact that it was a blowout.
That's the part I enjoyed because I'm trapped in Chiefs country.
I was pointing this out to it. I was pointing this out to a number of people. Yeah, okay, because he's currently the sitting president, he did have no choice but to leave early. But it was oddly fitting that since the Eagles were the ones destroying the Chiefs, and Trump has a beef with the Eagles.
Well, it wasn't. Well, more specifically, it was that specific person's preferred team because of the wife of the quarterback and other other things, I guess. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, in an interview before the Super Bowl, he did say, "Oh, I picked the
Yes.
Chiefs." So
yeah,
when everything,
yeah, but
right.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the wife of the quarterback likes me,
And everybody on X and Blue Sky were all like, "Oh well, will he invite the Eagles to the White House?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, considering how they shit on him last time they won."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who knows?
I will know he already said he's not inviting them.
Anybody catch Kanye's little? Anybody catch Kanye's little commercial where it was a link to a website where it was selling a white T-shirt with a swastika on it?
Well,
The one
I didn't see it. Honestly, believe it or not, yeah, I didn't
well,
come
that
across
website
it.
doesn't
Although,
exist anymore, so
Because Jewish grandmother basically DDoS.
salute.
yeah, it's
Not all
freaking
heroes
crazy,
wear
though. And,
capes.
and let's be very clear. Let's also be very clear about this because people might want to say want to diss the NFL or something like that for this. First of all, the NFL doesn't control how the advertising game works, and second of all,
Also, that was way too
saying,
many
"Did you
layers for
see
the
it?"
NFL to process.
Right, and also very specifically, this was not a national ad buy. You're talking about, did you see it? It's because a lot of the country probably didn't, because this was a local ad buy, specifically toward Fox owned and operated stations, apparently, which means that the Murdochs accepted money from an anti-Semite.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
It wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last.
Nope. So they had their cake and they decided to have their cake. The anti-Semitism ad with Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg, which is also funny as hell. Because Snoop Dogg played DJ for the crypto AI bros before the inauguration.
Oh, great.
You know how some of those bros act up. So they decided to have that, and also take some money from Kanye over here to do Kanye things. By the way, let me make it very. By the way, let me reiterate for the record that the downfall of Kanye West is.
Hello.
Hi.
So
Kevin?
now having problems.
Yeah, Kevin, are you still there?
He got zapped. He got zapped by Discord because he was about to land a hit against Ye.
I'm gonna change the server channel. Stand by.
All right.
All
Okay.
right. I just switched this to Central because I think there might be some issues on the East Coast server.
So Kevin, you were about to land a critical hit there, and Discord decided
Right.
to zap.
Sorry. So actually, what happened was that I accidentally took off the headphone jack here a little bit, and I clipped it back on and restarted. But anyway, I was going to say the downfall of Kanye West is probably the greatest downfall you have ever seen in your life.
Bro
any
needs to get his
major
head
figure?
checked. I'm not even joking here. He might
Listen,
not be okay.
Listen, everybody in this room, I'm pretty sure, remembers that like 20 years ago, Kanye West could create any music and it would turn into hit-making gold, okay? For pretty much anybody, right? Literally in our lifetime. And then his mother dies, and all of a sudden, it's completely into this that nobody has decided to step up and take him out of. Nobody. Everybody has encouraged him. He's encouraged him, and here we are in the final freaking form. Like, nobody stopped him from going into the abyss. And then he made more people to ensure they kept going into the abyss. And here we are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's tied first. I think that's tied for first with Trump being told by a 4-year-old that he's not the real president.
That's just base and
yes,
real, and that kid deserves some chocolate.
Well, I don't know about that, considering who his father is. So,
His father deserves stoning.
Listen. If that kid does not grow up to be a supervillain named Heat Death Man and make a ray that causes the acceleration of the heat death of the universe, I don't know what's going on.
It'll be more dignified than his actual name.
Oh God!
Wait. Wait. What is it? Frickin'.
Just call him Lil.
Oh, that's. Oh, yeah, that's right.
The one that's going to get him bullied when he actually goes going to school.
Yep. And if people don't think that he's going to get bullied, he's going to get bullied, folks. I'll guarantee it.
Isn't his name basically the passcode that you used to put in Symphony of the Night in order to get the axe armor at the beginning?
I don't know. It's just, I'm pretty sure
probably
the amount of drugs a certain someone was on when he named him was a lot.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Sprinkle some DMT on that ketamine. That special K in the morning for the breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
The Axe Armor code is just Axe Armor. The maximum luck code is X-X V quote Q.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Which is also slightly more easy to pronounce than this kid's name. Also, I'm pretty sure that kid's cashmere coat and gold bling was worth more than Donald Trump's entire net worth.
Probably.
Anyway, if we get back to the superb.
Get back to what we were talking about.
I mean, I don't give a shit about the Eagles or the Chiefs, so I mean, you guys could talk about the Super Bowl if you want to.
Well, there are ads.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on. Go on.
The ads seem to have been muted this year,
Yeah.
or at least nobody's really talking about the ads like they have in times past.
There were a couple
I'm-
chuckle-worthy ones, but nothing that made me like, I want to go hunt this down later on YouTube.
I mean, I suppose that's better than the crypto bowl we got a few years back.
Oh God, yeah, the
Oh,
ad that was just the
yeah.
QR code.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Probably
guess-
the only nefarious AI ad that we got was probably the Mountain Dew ad with Seal.
I guess I should probably say this real quick. For security, never scan random QR codes, boys and girls. That's bad.
Yeah.
No, never do this.
Never.
Even if it's an ad on TV, never scan random QR codes.
No. Especially when it bounces on the screen for a minute, flashing different colors. It's like when it flashes different colors, that's a warning.
Especially if it's backed by crypto bros.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, anyway,
Anyhow.
moving
We
on.
talked about that. Okay, have we talked about the main event, the halftime show yet?
No, we haven't. We're not talking about Mr. Lamar.
Oh
Well-
God.
Gotta have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like 123 million people watched
133 actually.
sorry.
But you were up, but yeah, a lot of people watch it. Probably it's actually the most watched halftime show ever, beating Michael Jackson's from 1993. I think it was, or 92. No, it was 92.
Yeah, it is the most watched television thing ever in the history of television.
Yep.
Like,
Which I'm actually kind of surprised because of the fact that it was a blowout. But hey, football is king.
Whatever the rationale, 130 people plus watched both Drake and Trump get ethered by a black
Yep.
man.
Yep.
The
Pretty
best,
much.
the best part was when he got the entire crowd chanting A minor.
Well, no, the funnier part was that he was teasing about doing that song, and it was like making you think maybe he won't do it because of the fact that there were lawyers for weeks trying to ensure that basically what happened on Sunday night didn't happen.
You see, unlike Drake, Kendrick Lamar has integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So when
You
he
know he
says
has
he's going to do
integrity.
a thing, when he says he's going
Like-
to do a thing, he does a thing.
Yep. It's like it's the biggest song of the year. It won him freaking 5 freaking Grammys. Yes, he's going to do it at the Superdome. Okay? And he knew how much it would piss Drake and his lawyers off, because when he said, "Hey Drake," he immediately looked at camera 1 and gave a 10-watt grin. Like, he knew where the camera was. He looked at the camera, gave a 10-watt grin, and said, "Yeah, motherfucker, I got you. Okay? Thought you could stop me? I don't think so. I am the moment, okay?" Meanwhile, you had your lawyers come out a couple of hours before. Like, yeah, the lawyers coming out a couple hours before saying, "We'll make sure," something to the effect of basically, we can't wait to get to court so we can prove our stupid little theories here.
And also, I'm not on an FBI and parental watch list.
Yeah.
And I think that'll about do it for entertainment this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Indeed.
other than
Perfect
that,
timing.
it was light anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I can say about like Star Trek related stuff was that a while back, Section 31 dropped, and boy, was it a stinker.
Oh, I've heard. Like,
I mean, it was mildly entertaining, but it added 0 to the franchise.
I'm like, Section 31's one of those ideas that worked better in the 90s, let's say.
Well, and more to the point, this movie, I'm pretty sure that in the last decade, Suicide Squad has been made twice.
I'm like, Guardians of the Galaxy more times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I mean, this really had this really had, you know, I mean, they didn't have it. They didn't have a Waller analog, nor bombs planted in the backs of people's heads. But I mean, it was the whole, you know, ragtag group of misfits, almost criminals, going to save the galaxy? Question mark. Really, just had a Suicide Squad vibe.
I mean, sure.
So
Anyway,
Anyhow.
anyway, so next week we have Inside the Studio because we don't have a guest.
yeah, that kind
Uh-huh.
of blew up because of a few things, but mainly technology. It was the guest that was having problems a few weeks back, and that just didn't get fixed. So it's kind of went in a new direction. There might be a replacement next week. We'll see.
Right.
Like,
Excuse me.
so, sometimes these things happen. So anyway,
All right. Well, again, special thanks to our guest this week, Jeffrey Green Ranger Zoo of the Duel Assessment Podcast, for being on the show. As always, we will continue to watch for developments with his show, and if anything pops, we'll bring him back because we do this show in cycles.
mm.
But until next week, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.